All of us do not have equal talent, but we all have an equal opportunity to develop our talents. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. बुक नेम जीवन को सार्थक बनाने का सही सुयोग. Great times for making the life a meaningful one. Book introduction. This is a thought-provoking book that bears the reality of current times, of its complex and often meaningless dimensions that are sapping out the essential elements of the life of its beauty. Amidst growing materialism, the mechanised life of an individual has taken resource in the direction of negating the fundamental values of sustaining life. The seer-author Pandit Shriram Sharma Acharya identifies this with the nature of human behaviour that tends to take the most accessible course of action, often misleading and dishonourable. He elaborates on the consequences of such tendencies and ways to rise above these through self-realisation. The book has many examples of people who successfully identified the actual goals in their lives and contributed immensely by playing their part in tune with that reality of life. Such a role play becomes even more critical in current unprecedented times. The seer author emphasizes that for everyone to realize the need of the hour in the ongoing transformation of era, that is Yug Parivartan, and play their vital roles. Some translated excerpts from the book. The human mind remains overwhelmed with sundry occupations throughout the life, and the physical body also follows similar pursuits. One gets further entangled in persistent efforts to find solution to existing problems. Even after challenging and time-consuming steps, an individual seldom achieves a fraction of his desires. Mostly, people are born and at the end of their lives leave the world complaining and without any satisfaction about any accomplishment throughout their lives. This is basically due to not realizing the real purpose of life and living under false perceptions. Understanding our real form and identifying true goal. Suppose we realize our true purpose in life. In that case, we can identify with our real goal and would not suffer due to getting lost in the myriad forms of false pretensions in our day-to-day grind that ultimately lead to nowhere but a remorseful sense of anxiety and pain. We should appreciate that our lives as human beings are the highest degree of achievement in itself that needs to be reciprocated in a similar level of deeds towards the world's benefit. We should not allow the misuse of our achievements. Influential people, banks, high-ranking officials have potent capabilities and influences that they can discharge at their will, but they never misuse their powers for personal gains but only for genuinely worthy reasons. Similarly, one should not fall into the trap of false pride for petty achievements but should continue to work in worthful pursuits for the betterment of the world. Implementing prudence in practice. It would have been a plausible relief for the distraught and disoriented to glimpse self-awareness with true knowledge and synchronize with the factuality of the true purpose of life. Still, in the absence of earnest desires in this direction, this tendency gets subbed and fades away quickly. Like the downflowing water and falling comets from the skies, the general tendencies prevalent in worldly affairs is that of degradation from the current position. Such trends and practices result from sanskars hidden within our psyches from past births that carry on in our current body and are persistently at pains to draw us back to their realms. Many people in this world give in to these tendencies and fall back to their degraded forms, only to repent later. Nevertheless, this cycle continues in an endless loop until one gathers enough wisdom to break away from it. To rise above these tendencies and break away from these shackles, we need to develop our wisdom akin to a boatman who carefully guides this boat with people on board from one end of the river to the other, avoiding every possible danger zone along the path. However, the question is, are we ready to brace up to this challenge to develop such prudence in practice? Manage what is available. If we had a dreadful past that casts haunting shadows on our present lives, then we can appreciate the fact that whatever is remaining is important enough to be taken care of wisely and diligently. Examples of people who relinquished their misdeeds and reformed themselves afresh abound in the pages of history, like Surdas, Tulsidas, Amrapali, Angulimal, Ashoka, etc. Virtuosity adopted with renewed valor is capable enough to subjugate and untoward instances of past misdeeds. Whatever we had done, unpleasant deeds in the past, can be undone with such a resolve of reformation. This happens because universal powers always joins in with a multitude of their energies that assail us thoroughly in such pursuits. Appreciate the criticality of current time. Current times are unprecedented and pose a significant challenge to the existence of the basic human value systems and humankind as such. As can be readily seen with the events unfolding around us, the world is going through a significant upheaval. This is the time that has been envisaged as the transformation of era, and 21st century happens to be the epoch for this transformation. These are the most opportune times to contribute in this direction of Yug Nirman in whatever capacity similar to the contribution by Kevat, the boatman who helped Shriram to cross the river Ganga, Shabari, Jatayu, Quiral, Sugriv, Vibhishan, who listened to their conscience and contributed with their roles with Sri Ram, didn't lose anything but only gained tremendously in return. Like Sudama, who only had to let go of the travel rice packet to Sri Krishna to beget the riches of Dwarika Nagari in return. We essentially give up our own triviality when we treat towards virtuosity, which is the inherent quality of our real self. Some of the topics covered in the book. First, understanding our realm, form and identifying true goal. Second, we should not allow the misuse of our achievements. Third, implementing prudence in practice. Fourth, manage what is available. And fifth, appreciate the criticality of current times.